Hello everybody, welcome back to Screen Stars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2021 action film Jolt, a film that is directed by Tanya Wexler and it stars Kate Beckinsale, Jai Courtney, Stanley Tucci, Bobby Cannavale and David Bradley. Now this film focuses on Kate Beckinsale's character Lindy, who we learn has an impulse issue. We get a little bit of backstory for this character. It shows her growing up. She's got this medical condition which basically means she can't control her aggressive impulses, and if she sees somebody doing something wrong or disrespectful, she's compelled to act violently. This follows her throughout her life, and we pick up her story where she's a grown woman, and she is being treated by Stanley Tucci, Dr. Munchen, who has kind of given her this kind of electronic device that she attaches to her body, and she can give herself an electric shock by pressing it, which will stop these impulses and hopefully help her maintain a normal life. To test this out, she goes on a date with Jai Courtney's character Justin, who seems like the perfect man. It looks like she's falling for him, and then his character is murdered, and she decides that she's going to find out who did this and take out her revenge on them. Right, what are my thoughts on Jolt? Well, this film is like a cross between Atomic Blonde and the Jason Statham film Crank to some degree. It's an interesting idea that is fairly poorly executed, I suppose is a fair way to describe it. Now, Kate Beckinsale, we know, can handle the odd action film. She's proved it before with the vampire films that she made. What were they called? Underground? My blind's just gone blank with that one. And I have seen not all of them, but I have seen some of them. But she can, definitely handle herself in an action role, and she does here. Now, for the most part, she's quite believable here as this character Lindy. She does a good job. She's a good actress. The believability factor here is massively out the window, and the plot holes here are so far and wide you could literally drop double-decker buses through them, and it just. You've got to kind of expand your believability with a lot of films, especially action films, for you to kind of get some kind of enjoyment out of them. And to some degree, I was able to do that here with this film, and to some degree, I wasn't. We're led to believe that this medical condition that she's got gives her these real impulse issues, but we're also meant to believe that she's highly skilled and trained. Well, my question was really, how did she get any of these skills? Because any of the scenes that we were shown of her going in the military and things like that showed that her tolerance levels were zero, and she just ended up beating everybody up, including her, superiors and things like that. So how did she get these skills at all? If she didn't have any tolerance for anybody, A, giving her orders for a start, and B, it takes years of practice to become so skilled. A, with a weapon, and B, with your unarmed as well. So I just didn't buy her skills. That it would be so much of a mismatch and muddled, and the only thing that she really had going for her, which she does touch on a little bit in the film, because she used to be like a bouncer. She describes it to Jai Courtney's character Justin that she used to be a bouncer, and he questioned, well, there's no tear, are you tying? How did you manage that? And she kind of explained it away by saying, well, all you really need is kind of assertiveness and a level of bravery and all this kind of stuff, which she would have, having this impulse issue. But again, that would only get you so far. And the film, I think, played too heavily on this, she's a female badass John Wick type character. But you just kept questioning, well, how did she get to be so good at these skills? And I just couldn't buy into that, personally. And the film is so, I don't know, poorly written, I suppose is the fairest thing I can say. The characters are in it deserve better. Jai Courtney Well, I was about to say Jai Courtney deserves better, but you know, this is kind of the cut of his jib these days, unfortunately. I was initially impressed with his role because it didn't seem like he was playing the normal generic, you know, Jai Courtney's in it, so he's your bad guy. And without spoilers, that wasn't exactly how it turned out in relation to his character. So Stanley Tucci was far too good for this film, far too good for this role, and I don't know why he decides to do these roles. Bobby Cannavale plays a really generic and forgettable cop. And David Bradley, who I thought was an interesting choice, as Gareth Fizell, who's like the leader of these bad guys. He's barely in it, and it's a crime really. If you're going to use David Bradley and use him in such an interesting way, do something more with his character other than being hung from the ceiling and sat eating lobster. But it's competently made. The action scenes are certainly watchable, if a little bit unbelievable. Kate Beckinsale does the best with what she can with this script, but it's not great writing, it's not a great script, and the characters are really poorly written. And if you can get past like the huge plot holes and things like that, then there is a film underneath it all to enjoy. So if you click your brain off a little bit, you can have some fun with this film. I will give it a 6 out of 10. So thank you very much for watching. I will be back with more content and reviews on the channel very, very soon.